Coming up on Tech Tonight, law enforcement agencies are using body cameras.
And a deadly earthquake struck DePaul last Saturday. Find out the details next. Welcome to Tech Tonight. I'm Becky Schumar.
And I'm Hannah Martin.
Nepal's most powerful earthquake in more than 80 years occurred last Saturday in Kathmandu, killing more than 4,600 people, 3 of which were Americans. The aftershock registered at a depth of 6 miles, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Sanjay Karki, Nepal country head for global aid agency Mercy Corps, said, quote, "The aftershocks keep coming, so people don't know what to expect. All the open spaces in Kathmandu are packed with people who are camping outdoors. When the aftershocks come, you cannot imagine the fear. You can hear women and children crying." End quote. Much of the region has been devastated, including many historical monumental buildings of the Kathmandu Valley. The earthquake will likely put a huge strain on the resources of this impoverished country, which relies heavily on tourism, especially from Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world.
A high-altitude rescue occurred on Mount Everest in Nepal Sunday. Mount Everest, the world's highest peak, experienced a series of avalanches in the wake of a massive earthquake. The Everest Base Camp suffered the greatest impact. Falling ice created an aerosol avalanche, accompanied by a giant air blast. More than 60 climbers were injured and 17 killed on Sunday, with many climbers trapped on the mountain at various camps along the route. The surplus of climbers on the mountain this weekend wasn't surprising. Late April and early May are peak times for summit attempts due to weather breaks. 22 of the most seriously injured climbers were flown to Kathmandu for medical attention. Dan Fredenberg, a Google exec and ex-boyfriend of actress Sophia Bush, was among those killed on the mountain.
The School of Performing Arts put on the play A Midsummer Night's Dream. Caitlin Murray has more on the story.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Murray with Tech Tonight, reporting from the Squire Studio Theater. Tonight, Virginia Tech School of Performing Arts is putting on their second spring main-stage production, a unique interpretation of Shakespeare's classic, A Midsummer Night's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream is one of Shakespeare's most notable plays and a timeless comedy. The play intertwines 3 dysfunctional groups of people with the main theme revolving around love. The cast, comprised of entirely students, sold out every performance for its 2-week run.
It's been wonderful. I have a tremendous cast. We've had a lot of fun. It's really been a collaborative experience. The actors have brought a lot of ideas. They've been open to my ideas. It's really been a give and take. And really, we've grown into a family.
While A Midsummer Night's Dream is performed annually by numerous theater companies and schools worldwide, Staley Johnston's take on this classic is unlike any other.
It was a combination of what I saw in my head, a little edgy, a little modern, with inspiration from my set designer, Randy Ward, and costume designer, Crystal Furman. They wanted something kind of ambiguous, not really site-specific or time-specific, but unique.
This show is the last production for the School of Performing Arts 2014-2015 season. Reporting from Squire Studio Theater, I'm Caitlin Murray. Back to you.
Thank you, Caitlin. A protest took place in Baltimore last Saturday night over the death of Freddie Gray, who was critically injured in police custody. While it started peacefully with thousands marching through downtown streets, the demonstration quickly turned violent. Police car windows were smashed, stores were looted, and at one point, a protester tossed a flaming metal garbage can towards a line of police officers. This chaotic scene prompted Freddie Gray's sister, Frederica Gray, to say, quote, "My family wants to say, can you all please stop the violence? Freddie Gray would not want this," end quote. More than 34 protesters were arrested, and at least 20 officers are suffering minor and critical injuries.
Relay for Life was held April 24th through April 25th. Claire Rigney has more on the story.
Hi, this is Claire Rigney from Tech Tonight, reporting from the drill field at Virginia Tech. Tonight is Relay for Life, a 12-hour fundraising event where thousands of students came out to show their support in finding a cure for cancer. In order to raise money for the American Cancer Society, Virginia Tech students and campus groups set up booths around the drill field in order to sell items like baked and handmade goods. Every year, thousands of students and members of the community attend, making Virginia Tech the largest collegiate Relay for Life in the world.
So my job within Relay for Life was to basically get the entire Greek community signed up, encourage them to raise money and come out and support Relay for Life. We've done a lot of different things this year, such as having a haunted house. We've attacked organizations differently. This year we raised over $166,000 just as Greeks, so I think we've had some improvements over the years.
Although the activities spanned from 5 at night to 5 in the morning, there was never a dull moment as attendees jogged around the course, ate dinner, played games, took pictures, and watched performances and special events on the main stage.
I think even if you haven't had a loved one, you know someone who has had a loved one who's been affected. And Relay for Life really gives everybody a chance to come together and to be a family for one night. I mean, we have people in our lives who spend years battling this disease, and I think we can all come together for 12 hours to unite and fight for a cure.
By the end of the night, Relay for Life raised over $500,000 to put towards helping people and families affected by cancer. Reporting from the drill field, I'm Claire Rigney. Back to you.
Thank you, Claire. The realm of education is ever changing. Teachers and students are getting more progressive, more creative, maybe too creative. A bill circulating in the Iowa State Senate proposes that professors should be terminated based on student evaluations. Professor performance would be evaluated solely on student evaluations. The lowest rated of those would be fired. Senator Mark Chelgren suggested this rule because he says that students don't always get their money's worth in the classroom. Chelgren says that professors should think of their students as their customers. Although the bill hasn't garnered much support, it's sparking debate about student loans, debts, and what can be expected out of higher education.
Former President George W. Bush plans to stay away from the 2016 campaign trail as his younger brother prepares to get a presidential bid, saying that he does not want to fuel backlash from voters who do not like dynasties. The 43rd president explained at a closed-door dinner for members of the Republican Jewish Coalition that it would hurt his brother, former Governor Jeb Bush, if he were to campaign with him. Lisa Karlofsky of Scottsdale, Arizona said, quote, "He basically said that his brother is going to have some issues with the name Bush to contend with," end quote. Jeb Bush doesn't dispute his brother's comments. He said, quote, "I think my brother overstates this a lot. People respect him enormously." Bush's appearance ended a 3-day leadership meeting of the Republican Jewish Coalition, a powerhouse fundraising group.
Let's take a moment for our weekly weather forecast with Chapin Kofod.
Hi, I'm Chapin Kofod with your weekly weather forecast. The rain and overcast looks to be finally clearing out for the weekend. The high for Saturday is going to be in the upper 60s and be partly cloudy. Sunday should have even clearer skies and be a little warmer. The high is going to be in the lower 70s, and there shouldn't be as much of a breeze as Saturday. The warm trend looks to continue into the next week with highs in the mid to upper 70s. It is still early May, so chance of showers is a possibility for most of the upcoming week. So try and enjoy the last bit of free time outside before finals start. Back to you.
Thank you, Chapin. In the wake of civil unrest in reaction to the use of police force this year, law enforcement agencies have jumped onto the body cam wagon, both in an effort to appease the public and to hold their own departments more accountable. Many law enforcement agencies are still in the testing phase of body camera incorporation. Body cameras are a good addition to law enforcement, but they do have their drawbacks. One such drawback is the possibility that an arrest captured via body cam may end up on YouTube. Seattle police have created their own YouTube channel for arrest videos, and although the videos posted are rather nondescript, some arrest footage is very graphic. Mike Wagers, Chief Operating Officer of Seattle Police, said his team didn't really know what else to do with the videos, so they did what everyone else does and put them online. Other members of law enforcement disagree with this move, worrying that by making these videos open to the public, they risk being required to turn them over if requested by the state for public law records. According to Washington State Police Chief Steven Strachan, it could be a violation of privacy. Strachan may be right about being required to turn footage over if he chooses to use his body cameras in his force, because many body camera advocates have called for the recorded footage to be made public to clear up any confusion about crimes or killings. Many law enforcement agencies are disinclined to permanently equip their officers with body cameras unless public disclosure laws are changed.
After several weeks of scrutiny, the Clinton Foundation has publicly admitted to the mistakes it made when reporting its cash flow from donors. The Clinton Foundation's acting CEO, Mara Polly, wrote in a statement posted to their website, quote, "Yes, we made mistakes, as many organizations of our size do. But we are acting to remedy them and have taken steps to ensure that they don't happen in the future." The expected May 5th publication of Clinton Cash, a book by Peter Schweizer, that digs into the charity's acceptance of foreign donations and its ties to the Clinton political machine, have pushed their donor disclosure policies into the spotlight once again. After Hillary Clinton announced her 2016 bid for the White House, the foundation changed the way it accepts foreign donations. The charity reiterated that they would uphold that promise.
Cognita and Laney, the two llamas who were caught on video breaking out of an assisted living residence during a visitation in Sun City, are back home and under close watch in Phoenix, Arizona. Cognita is 5 years old, Laney is only 1. The llama's infamous breakout entailed a hot pursuit, citizens on golf carts, llamas on hooves. The chase went on for hours. Owner Bob Bullis' wife, Karen, joked that although she wanted to get back into running, the chase wasn't how she'd planned to do it. The llamas caused such a stir, they earned their own hashtag #LlamaDrama, and have been bombarded with videos and interviews since the debacle. Laney has readopted her domestic mentality, whereas a taste of freedom still lingers in Cognita's soul. The llama has shown a bit more defiance and has isolated herself from her owners and fellow penmates. The Bullis family loves their llamas still and have grown from 2 llamas to 9, saying simply, "They're like potato chips. You can't just have one." Stay tuned for your news around Virginia Tech.
Hi, I'm Allie Littlejohn.
And I'm Eva Langelotti with your news around Virginia Tech.
Do you like slip and slides? Get ready for Slide the City to come to Blacksburg this summer. This massive slip and slide event has been traveling across the country with 1,000 feet of vinyl, creating the biggest slip and slide to ever hit the asphalt. There will be live music, food, and drinks available at the event as well. While the dates are still undetermined, registration is open now for single rides, triple rides, and VIP rides. Each single ride ranges between $15 to $25 depending on when you register. Each triple ride is between $30 and $40, which allows the participant to ride down the slip and slide 3 times throughout the day. And for VIP rides, it's $50 to $60 for unlimited rides all day. These VIP passes also let individuals ride the slip and slide an hour before it opens and an hour after the ride is already closed. The earlier you register, the cheaper it will be. Don't miss out on this awesome event. Because there's not as much to do in Blacksburg during the summer, this is the perfect way to spice up the hot, sunny day. While this sounds like an exciting idea, many residents are concerned about the amount of water used. Slide the City is currently designing water usage and recycling plans for this summer. They want to find a way to recirculate the water throughout the day, and at the end of the day, they will treat the water and recycle it back into the community. Slide the City guarantees that this slip and slide event is safe and environmentally friendly.
Google Executive Chairman Eric Schmidt will give Virginia Tech's 2015 spring commencement address. According to a university news release, Schmidt will be addressing over 5,000 family members and graduates during the ceremony in May. Schmidt grew up in Blacksburg and served as Google's CEO between 2001 and 2011. To this day, he holds close ties to Virginia Tech because of his father, who once worked as the head of the school's economics department. This will not be Schmidt's first commencement speech here at Tech, as he also made one in 1999. President Timothy Sands spoke out on the topic of Schmidt's address, saying, "We are delighted to again welcome him home to Blacksburg. His remarkable career and the perspective he brings will surely inspire our students as they begin the next phase of their lives."
Have you ever had a class in McBride 100? If you haven't, you definitely will sometime before you graduate. During the school year alone, the auditorium was used by over 2,500 students every single day. It was built in 1973 and has only had minor renovations done since then. Because so many introductory level courses are taught in this room, it is really wearing down with dirty, torn seats, bad acoustics, and no power outlets. In the students' perceptions of teaching or spot surveys, students requested to have power outlets installed throughout the room. Students also requested to have more accessibility and mobility through the installation of intermediate rows for professors to wander around the room while teaching. The fact that the university really listens to their students' concerns is shown through this expensive and extensive renovation. Not only will they be installing new seats with integrated power outlets, the renovation will consist of improving accessibility by reducing the slope of the room, creating a cleaner presentation service at the front of the room, and adding wood veneer ceiling and wall panels to improve the overall acoustics of the room. Of course, the heating and air conditioning, as well as the lighting and audio-visual equipment, will also be replaced. Overall, this one auditorium is scheduled for a $2.8 million facelift to improve student and professor experience alike. Construction is expected to begin immediately after the end of spring semester and will continue until right before classes start back up in the fall. Dedicated to its motto, Ut Prosum, Virginia Tech really takes a hands-on approach to making all of its students and staff happy and content in their learning environment.
Virginia Tech has recently announced that it will reconfigure a section of Drillfield Drive by next year in order to open up to two-way traffic. Being that the project was approved on Monday by the university's Board of Visitors, construction is set to begin after graduation this May and is planned to be completed before classes start in the fall. During the construction, there will be several roads closed and detours established. However, the full cost of the project is still unknown. As of right now, drivers must circle through the heart of the campus in order to turn onto Kent Street. Once the road is ready, drivers will be able to enter campus from Alumni Mall or Stranger Street to turn south onto Kent Street. This project has been planned in an effort to increase safety and convenience for drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists.
The largest collegiate relay took place here on our very own campus last Saturday on the drill field. With more than $4.5 million raised from this year's event for the American Cancer Society, we as Virginia Tech fulfilled our motto of Ut Prosum. Relay for Life is a worldwide cancer awareness and fundraiser movement. With more than 4 million participants in 20 different countries every single year, Relay raises money to invest in cancer research. This money also supports struggling cancer patients with their transportation, lodging, and various other arrangements. The night began at 5 p.m. and lasted for 12 hours straight into the early morning. It included a variety of different events like performances from the SAA Spirit Rally, the Fusion Dance Team, the band Concord, DJ Tempo, Mixed Emotions, VT Solstice, and so much more. With more than just entertainment, there were numerous laps dedicated to different things. For example, the Survivor Lap started the night, in which all cancer survivors took the first lap around the track, celebrating their victory against cancer. The Luminaria ceremony took place later into the night, where candles were lit and placed in personalized bags around the relay track, tributing to those who had lost their lives to cancer. But relay is even more than entertainment and laps. Hundreds of Virginia Tech's clubs and organizations set up tents around the track, each selling different things. All of the proceeds made that night from these organizations also went towards relay. Virginia Tech has hosted the largest collegiate relay in the world for 7 years straight now, and continues to hold on to that title. Planning lasts all year, and it's already began for next year. If you missed relay this year, don't miss out on this awesome opportunity in the future. It's one of the best ways to come out as a community and show the world who we are and what Hokies represent.
A new entertainment complex has recently opened in the First and Main Shopping Center on Main Street. The entertainment center is called Frank Theater's Cinebowl Grill and IMAX, but is more well known as Cinebowl. The complex began showing movies last Monday and is now accepting lunch guests and bowlers. As its name suggests, the complex's primary features are 11 movie theaters, and one of which is IMAX, and then a restaurant and bar area next to the bowling alley. The complex also offers an arcade. Blacksburg leaders and others promoting the town are confident that Cinebowl will quickly become a large entertainment attraction. The other nearest IMAX screens for moviegoers are in Charlottesville and High Point, North Carolina. Blacksburg Mayor Ron Rordam said, "This will have a tremendous impact on the Southwest Virginia region. It is very hard to overstate the significance of an IMAX theater here."
Virginia Tech won its 6th Governor's Environmental Excellence Award this past week for the university's commitment to sustainability. This award recognizes environmental and conservation leadership in sustainability and land conservation in Virginia. Efforts to get students involved in sustainability have been recognized. 18 interns with the Office of Energy and Sustainability were the primary drivers of the student engagement program. This included Sustainability Week, Recyclemania, and the Turn Down for Watt energy conservation competition to inform students about environmental issues and to get them to take action. These interns worked hard to get students involved, both directly and through social media. They educated students on the benefits of compostable to-go containers now throughout the dining halls. Virginia Tech commits itself to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improving energy efficiency and recycling, and pursuing environmental standards in campus buildings. Virginia Tech already has farms to grow their own food and recycling plants. The dedication to sustainability is shown throughout the campus. Earth Day was this past week as well, and the university celebrated by bringing their own farm's homegrown tomatoes and other vegetables to D2 for lunch and dinner. They offered caprese, bruschetta, and a flatbread pizza, all topped with their own fresh vegetables. Emily Shosid, sustainability planner and coordinator of outreach efforts, stated, quote, "Getting students to lead more sustainable lives will help the university reach its climate action goals," end quote. Sustainability around campus will continue to grow. Will you do your part to stay environmentally friendly?
Matthew Laporte was a sophomore in Tech's Corps of Cadets and the Air Force ROTC when Virginia Tech experienced its tragic shooting on April 16, 2007. While in an attempt to tackle the gunman, Laporte was shot and killed. It was not until last Thursday that the U.S. Air Force formally recognized his heroic attempt to save the lives of those around him by honoring him with the Airman's Medal. This medal, according to a news release from Virginia Tech, is awarded to those who distinguish themselves by a heroic act, usually at the voluntary risk of his or her own life, but not involving actual combat. Cadet Nathan Boggs was Laporte's roommate at the time and reflected on his friend's heroism, saying, "It was not something that Matt was required or expected to do, but he did it out of genuine love and concern for the people in his class. There is no question in my mind that Matthew Joseph Laporte is my hero, and I am proud to have been so close with him." Stay tuned for your entertainment news.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn Webster.
And I'm Caroline Cleary with your entertainment news.
As many know, Bruce Jenner sat down with Diane Sawyer to discuss his transition from man to woman. The interview aired this past Friday, and it is all anyone can talk about. During the interview, Bruce finally confirmed the rumors and his upcoming sex change. Bruce eloquently explained his ongoing struggle with his sexual identity. Jenner's interview was advertised and promoted weeks prior to its air date. The interview brought ABC's 2020 more viewers than it's ever had in 15 years, and the most watched Friday program since 2003, excluding sporting events. 16.9 million viewers tuned in and watched Bruce break down a lot of transgender barriers. Many celebrities responded to the Diane Sawyer special with love and support for the Olympic gold medalist. All his children and stepchildren posted on social media congratulating their dad on his bravery and courage. Other celebrities to speak out were Oprah Winfrey, Miley Cyrus, Lena Dunham, and Ellen DeGeneres. DeGeneres tweeted saying, quote, "Bruce Jenner is a beautiful, brave human being. Sending him lots of love. He's saving lives and opening minds tonight," end quote. Winfrey also tweeted an excerpt from Jenner himself during the interview saying, quote, "All of us deserve the right to be loved for who we are," end quote. Jenner took a big risk, and it looks as if his honesty is paying off. He also announced the 8-episode docuseries that will chronicle Jenner's transition and his search for a new normal. The series is set to air July 26th.
Scarlett Johansson spent her weekend in Beijing attending a premiere for the new Captain America movie. While talking to the press, Johansson gushed about her thriving marriage and shared a few tips on how she and her hubby make it work with full-time jobs and a new baby around the house. Johansson got married to Romain Doric last year, shortly after the birth of their daughter, Rose Dorothy. Johansson said, "Marriage takes a lot of work. The secret, however, is not only loving one another, but also being confident in your own careers. My husband is in a field that is completely different than mine, and it's important that the recognition he gets at his job has nothing to do with my job." Another secret she shared is that they have many things they like to do together, like going out and dancing, eating at new places, and watching the same TV shows. Johansson added that providing their daughter with a normal life without luxuries of fame is their top priority.
Sad news for Everybody Loves Raymond fans. 19-year-old Sawyer Sweeten, who played Ray Romano's son on the series, took his own life this past Thursday. Sweeten worked with real-life siblings on the show, as his sister and twin also played children to Ray Romano and Patricia Heaton. While visiting family in Texas, Sweeten is said to have shot himself in their family home. In a statement released by his sister and co-star on the sitcom, she said, quote, "This morning, a terrible family tragedy has occurred. We are devastated to report that our beloved brother, son, and friend, Sawyer Sweeten, took his own life. At this sensitive time, our family requests privacy and we beg of you to reach out to the ones you love," end quote. Sweeten was just weeks shy from his 20th birthday. Romano released a statement saying, quote, "He was a wonderful and sweet kid to be around. Just a great energy whenever he was there. My heart breaks for him, his family, and his friends during this very difficult time," end quote. This is a terrible tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends.
Following Bruce Jenner's interview with ABC's Diane Sawyer, several celebrities reached out on social media to stand up for Bruce Jenner and send support his way. That was not the case, however, for Kim Kardashian's ex-husband, Kris Humphries. After the interview on Friday, he tweeted, quote, "Man, I'm glad I got out when I did. Hashtag gotta do you." Not surprisingly, many people saw this as offensive and rude. Shortly after, Humphries tweeted again to correct himself, saying, quote, "I have and always will be supportive of Bruce, hence hashtag gotta do you. Now I recognize I was too vague and sincerely apologize for the way this came across." Although Humphries apologized, Khloe Kardashian was very upset by the comment and spoke out to the NBA star on Sunday, giving him a piece of her mind. Perfect timing, however. Twitter released last week that they are planning to crack down on a new policy that will enable them to detect and remove harassment or abusive comments more quickly.
Tragedy struck Nepal this Saturday when the country experienced a massive earthquake. Google executive Dan Friedenberg was sadly killed in the earthquake while climbing Mount Everest. While climbing the mountain with 2 other Google employees, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake caused an avalanche. The 2 other members of Google survived while Friedenberg succumbed to a severe head injury following the quake. Friedenberg made headlines for dating actress Sophia Bush. Although the couple broke off their relationship in August 2014, they still remained close friends. The One Tree Hill star took to Instagram to express her condolences and love for Friedenberg. She posted saying, quote, "He was one of my favorite human beings on earth. He was one of the great loves of my life. He was one of my truest friends. He was an incredible brother, a brilliant engineer, and a damn good man. I'm devastated and simultaneously so deeply grateful to have known and loved him, and to have counted him as one of my tribe." End quote. Following the news, Bush still attended the White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night. She looked beautiful at the event, but you could tell the news weighed heavy on her heart.
Lil Wayne had a very eventful weekend. After performing at the Compound nightclub in Atlanta on Saturday night, his tour bus was shot at multiple times only a few minutes after pulling away from the venue. It was about 3:30 in the morning on the Interstate 285 when 2 vehicles fired shots at the tour bus. Lil Wayne, also known as Weezy, and a few other Young Money artists were on board the bus at the time. Immediately following the gunshots, police were called. The entourage on the bus was unable to give a detailed description of the suspects, only that they were in 2 white vehicles, one of which was a sports car and the other an SUV. Law enforcement was unable to identify the suspects or make any arrests. Thankfully, no one was injured and no serious damages were made to the tour bus.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kim Richards reportedly checked herself into rehab. She is currently in a live-in facility in Malibu that specializes in substance abuse. Sources claim that she will stay in the treatment center as long as it takes for her to get better. This follows Richards' arrest at the Beverly Hills Hotel a couple weeks ago. Richards appeared intoxicated and was being disruptive. She was asked to leave the hotel, and after refusing to do so and causing a scene, the police were called. Richards resisted arrest and was carried out of the hotel. She was charged with trespassing, resisting arrest, and battery on a police officer. Richards recently sat down with Dr. Phil to film an interview. When her family came on the show and she feared an on-screen intervention, Richards ran off set and did not finish the interview. Richards has suffered with alcohol and substance abuse for most of her life. I applaud her decision to check into a facility and hope that she can get better for herself and her family.
It hasn't been an easy week for fans of the TV show Grey's Anatomy. Last episode, the main actor, a doctor named Derek Shepherd, was killed off, breaking every viewer's heart. One fan was so upset that they started a petition on Change.org in an effort to bring back the doctor, commonly called McDreamy. The fan who created the petition to the writer of the show suggested making the episode a dream or hallucination and wrote, quote, "You cannot toy with our emotions and our lives like this. It's not right. How do you sleep at night?" Unfortunately for the thousands of people who've signed the petition, his character will not be returning to the show. Patrick Dempsey, who played the star role of the Doctor, spoke out acknowledging why fans are upset. He said, quote, "People don't want to lose Dr. Shepherd. He's been in their lives for over 10 years, but the show will go on and it will evolve. One thing is certain, it will be hard for any other doctor to fill in his shoes on the show. Stay tuned for your sports news."
Hi, I'm Lexi Johnson.
And I am Tom Beto with your sports news. The Washington Wizards finished off the Toronto Raptors in just 4 games by winning 125-94 Sunday night at Verizon Center. Marcin Gortat contributed 21 points and 11 rebounds to Washington's series-clinching victory, along with 14 points and 10 assists from John Wall. Washington led by 16 in the first quarter, 20 in the second, and by a whopping 32 entering the fourth. After the game, Toronto's Patrick Patterson said, quote, "It was horrific. It was a letdown. It was just ugly," end quote. Next up for the number 5 seed Wizards will be either the number 1 seed Atlanta or the number 8 seed Brooklyn. Those teams played their game 4 on Monday, with the Hawks up 2-1.
The 2015 NFL Draft kicked off the first round April 30th at 8 p.m. at the Chicago Auditorium Theater. This highly anticipated draft started with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the first pick, followed by the Tennessee Titans. As far as the players, quarterback Jameis Winston of Florida State has been expected to be the number 1 overall draft pick. Round 2 and 3 will take place tonight, May 1st at 7 p.m., and the final 4 rounds will take place Saturday, May 2nd at noon.
St. Louis Cardinals ace pitcher Adam Wainwright is expected to miss the rest of the 2015 season due to an Achilles injury he suffered Saturday night while stumbling out of the batter's box. The Cardinals placed Wainwright on 15-day disabled list Sunday with what they think is a left ankle and Achilles injury. He's scheduled to undergo an MRI Monday. Cardinals manager Mike Matheny said any length of time without Wainwright would be tough, and that his team has not determined who would start in place of Wainwright on the Cardinals' Thursday night matchup against Philadelphia.
Last Saturday, the Virginia Tech spring game took place. Although the weather was cold and rainy, that did not stop fans from coming out to support the football players in their hard work in spring practices. Great attempts and plays were made throughout the game. Within 2 minutes of the game, freshman DB Greg Stroman scored a touchdown off punt return. Other scorers were running backs Trey Edmonds, Trey McMillan, and J.C. Coleman. Wide receiver Isaiah Ford and defensive back Donovan Riley also scored touchdowns. During halftime, several awards were given to players who excelled in spring practice. The final score was Maroon 24, Orange 21. Following the game, there was a 30-minute autograph session.
Virginia Tech golfer Trevor Cohn finished with a 3-round total of 11 under par 205 and a 3-way tie for the ACC Men's Golf Championship on Sunday afternoon. The tournament was played this past weekend at the par 72 over 7,000-yard Old North State Club in New London, North Carolina. The Tech men's golf team posted a 3-day total of 8 under 856 and finished 6th at the championship. The Hokies posted a 4 under par 284 in the opening round on Friday and improved upon that mark with a 7 under 281 on Saturday for their 565 total. Tech then shot a 3 over 291 on Sunday for the 856 total also. The Hokies will now wait for the NCAA selection show on May 4th to learn their fate for the NCAA regionals.
On Sunday, April 26th, the Los Angeles Clippers beat the San Antonio Spurs 114-105. This was a turnaround for the Clippers after their 100-73 loss in Game 3. Chris Paul had 34 points and Blake Griffin added 20 points for the Clippers. Other leading scorer was J.J. Redick with 17 points. San Antonio struggled and seemed to lose momentum during the third quarter and couldn't compete with the Clippers' excellent defense. The Spurs were 6-25 on three-pointers and 25-35 on free throws.
Virginia Tech fans are going to miss listening to Bill Ross' angelic voice caress Blacksburg's airwaves on game days. Saturday's spring football game marked Ross' final day as the voice of the Hokies. Roth, who has been the radio play-by-play announcer for Tech football and men's basketball since 1988, was named Wednesday as the new radio voice of UCLA. Tech saluted Roth with a video tribute after the first quarter of Saturday's game. Fans stood and applauded as Roth, shown on Lane Stadium's video board, waved from the booth at the end of the tribute. Roth maintained his professional composure during Saturday's broadcast until the end when he choked up while saying to the listeners, quote, "It's been my pleasure and my honor to be here. I don't say goodbye, I say thank you for your tremendous support," end quote. On behalf of all of us here at Virginia Tech Television, I'd like to thank you, Bill Roth, for your passion and support for Hokie sports and the larger Virginia Tech community. Best of luck at UCLA. That's all for Tech Tonight. I'm Tom Beto.
And I'm Lexi Johnson. Tune in next